Hey gang, Spacetime Badass here. So after the Luciding debacle, I thought I should give you guys an update. So on Twitter, you might have seen recently that I posted a tweet saying that the DMCA takedown on my video was removed and it is now viewable on YouTube. Now, with that, it is no longer appearing in my video list. It's acting as if it's an unpublished or an unlisted video, but you can still view it via direct link. So I should probably put a link in the description down below for that if you'd like to see it at this point. But ever since then, Luciding actually got in contact with me, and we've been messaging back and forth a little bit, and I feel like I should give you guys an update on kind of what's going on right now. So, so I've been in contact with Marina, and she had mentioned that she got the DMCA takedown removed from my video, and she actually had to call YouTube support to get that done. So kudos to her for actually doing that, as well as going out of her way to make sure that it happened in this situation. That means a little bit. As well, she mentioned that the decision to file the DMCA takedown on my video was not a decision of the Luciding company, but rather of one person on staff there. It was not discussed, and it was not a plot on their end to silence me, but rather they say that it was just someone who did that out of their own volition. So, that aside, they gave me a little bit of background on their company and mentioned that I think they said they have about 5 people on staff full time now, and they have mostly had issues with money and getting people to put in the work on like some of their coding and things like that. Which I mean, I'm sympathetic to. I mean, I'm pretty high on passion, but when it comes to capital and people to get things done, I also lack that. But I do feel that the situation was still handled inappropriately, especially concerning devices that do shock the prefrontal cortex. I feel that it is very important that if you're going to give someone a device to test, they should know the parameters, that it's a temporary device. As well, it should go back to Luciding for a diagnostic and to be fixed or discarded and replaced with a newer device to be sent to another person if you're going to try to do that. There definitely needs to be a diagnostic between each person so that we know that it's working appropriately, and then that will minimize the risk for the user. I know they did that as a means to save money, but I think it's important to know where you can and where you can't cut corners. And this is one of those instances where they really should not have cut corners. They put people at risk, people that I know and people that I care about. So I think that was wrong of them, but they did offer to send me another device to keep, a new one that works with the app. They said that they thought the shock was probably too high, which I can agree to as well. It was probably definitely too high, as it woke me up every single time. So that's something. I mean, if the device gets here and it shows to be different than the previous device, and it's a different experience and it works better or works worse or whatever, I will be sure to make a video update and let you guys know the facts of what's going on with that. Now, I was very careful in talking to Luciding to make sure that they not only give me a new device because I shouted the loudest, but they should also seek out other reviewers who might have had issues with it, or who might feel the way that I did when all of this happened. They need to not just make right by me because, hey, I'm here and I yelled the loudest, but they need to actively make the effort to do right by the other people that they could have potentially harmed. And I think that that is a very important thing. So I gave some names on people who I knew who were reviewing the device who had similar troubles. As well, I mentioned that they should seek out other reviewers that they think might possibly have had a similar experience so that they can make right by them as well. I also offered some advice on the lucid dreaming community and how they are coming off. While if what they're saying is true, they don't really have the funding to do things the way they would like. That's fine, but from the outside, it appears that Luciding, has every means to make a device that works. And looking at it from the outside, you see they've had a lot of successful Kickstarters, and why would they be trying to cut corners if they're so well funded? It just doesn't come off right, and maybe we don't know all the facts with how things are going with them, but still, some of these things were inexcusable in my opinion. As well, I mentioned that their team really lacks an experienced lucid dreamer who knows how to lucid dream without devices and supplements and that sort of thing. Because having a lucid dreamer who is experienced as a consultant on their team would do so much good for them. They would be able to point out the problems with marketing that I did in their video that got taken down, before that issue even went out to the public. They could have spotted all the issues and helped them make a better video that didn't make false claims or sign them up for like a lawsuit for false advertising, for instance. As well, an experienced lucid dreamer on their staff could help them reach the market a little bit better. I informed them that the lucid dreaming community has been burned in the past with Aurora, the iWinks device that, people are still waiting on, things like that. There have been a lot of cash grabs in the lucid dreaming community, and people are conscious of that now. And, I told them that what people want to see more than anything right now is a company that is just genuine and tells it like it is, that can answer criticisms and not just kill them with kindness, but give them some honest feedback kindly. Yeah, as well, what else did I mention? Yeah, an experienced lucid dreamer could help them reach the market and show them what people in the community want. They just want somebody who can be honest and tell them what's working, what's not working, and here's what we're doing to try to fix it. As well, another recommendation that I made is that they not be silent on this issue. I think that looks really bad, and when you think about other companies, with all of the ads going on where the companies are getting flack for, what's the first thing they do? They take it down, they issue an apology, and say, here's what we're going to do moving forward. And I told Luciding that basically a press release would be a good idea to acknowledge the issue that devices were sent out without the app working to adjust the voltage. Multiple devices were sent to multiple people, which could have endangered people as well. They need to acknowledge these issues and acknowledge that they didn't handle the situation as well as they could have, and make right by the people who were affected, and then say, here's what we're going to do moving forward to make sure that this doesn't happen again. Because they can work and work and work on providing better tech all they want, but it's not going to matter if they don't have people's trust. And this is all for me coming from a place because I want the same thing that you guys want. I want a working lucid dreaming device that is safe from a good company. And so really, I just provided all of the insight that I possibly could at this time to tell them what they can do to turn things around and the kind of company that they need to be in order for this to work. They can't, ignore the issues. They can't put people at risk. They can't just completely subvert the facts of the things we know about lucid dreaming to sell their product. They need to sell the product, but they need to do it on a level playing field with they need to be forthcoming, honest, transparent, and show that they have the values that we would want a company to have who was selling us a device that shocks our prefrontal cortex. So who knows? We'll see what happens. Things have seemed shady in the past, but I mean, I'm hoping they can turn things around and really focus on being a good company as well as working on the tech, because I think that's incredibly important for the lucid dreaming community. So those are just my bits of advice. They don't have to take them. I don't expect that they'll take much of it to heart, but I think though those are the things that are important, because I still think it's inexcusable. I mean, how could you not know that you're putting people at risk, or did you just simply not care? That sort of thing. But while you can't change the past, you can definitely change the course of your future, and I simply hope that Luciding uses this as a learning experience to do so. Otherwise, I think that just about covers it. I just feel like you guys deserve an update on what's going on. Thank you for watching, and until next time, take it easy.